recently, but the latest has nothing to do with the quarterback room or what's going on at OTAs. The Browns announcing this week that Charles Woodson is now a minority owner, Hall of Famer, Ohio native, Super Bowl champion, one of the most decorated players in all of football, will now bring his wisdom and his insight to the Browns, and we are lucky enough for him to bring it to us right here on CBS Sports HQ. So let's welcome in Charles Woodson. He's got the Browns shirt on. You're official now.
Yeah.
How did I know Larry Fitzgerald played a role in this. Was this something you were looking at? How did this come about?
No, actually, he called me randomly one day or texted me, and we ended up talking, and it kind of came, out of the blue a little bit. And but the question was, hey, would you be interested in kind of going down this path? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he said, hey, I have someone who may be able to, facilitate that for you. And he introduced me to Derek Higgins, who worked with the NFL for years. He knows a bunch of the owners. And so I contacted Derek. We emailed back and forth, and then we began to talk. And so he brought up a few, other teams. But then we started talking about Cleveland. And, as that conversation started, it just kind of started to make sense, me being from Ohio, the Cleveland Browns. And so then he made the introduction to Jimmy Haslam and his family, and we set up a meeting at the Super Bowl last year when the Super Bowl was in Vegas, so a year and a half ago. And I met them at lunch, sat down, had lunch for about an hour and a half, and then after that meeting, I took a visit up to the Browns facility and toured the facility, met a bunch of people within the organization. Was out there at one of the practices. And then at that point, at that meeting, Jimmy was like, hey, let's go ahead and start this process. So that's kind of, how it started in a nutshell.
So let me ask you this. What is your role now going to be? I mean, obviously you do a million things. We see you on TV. You got your bourbon. I'm a bourbon girl. I still haven't tried it. I'm going to try it at some point. But what are you looking to be involved with here? I mean, is it helping the front office? Is it talking to players? What do you want your role to look like?
Yeah, I think it could be a combination of both of those things, front office and players. I think, with myself, man, I have a ton of experience, just being in and around the game of football all my life. I've been through all the ups and downs. I've been a high draft pick. I've been cut. I've been a defensive player of the year. I've been hurt a bunch of times. I'm in the business. I've made money, lost money. So I've pretty much, done it all. So I think I could be, just a wealth of knowledge for anyone around, the organization. And so I think it'll be really a work in progress of, what they would want from me. And I think that role would probably just evolve over time. So I'll just be as involved, as they want me to be. First of all, I gotta, try to get up there and just spend some more time around everyone up there. And then from there, like I said, this relationship and the role and whatever impact I can make, I think it'll evolve and just get better over time.
Really quickly on the Browns, I mean, what do you think we can expect? You got a very interesting quarterback room, 4 players right now going at it. I mean, what do you think this team is going to look like come week 1?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's only so many reps you can get. And we have a lot of quarterbacks in that room, like you just mentioned. I suspect that Joe Flacco, just because he has that experience, I would expect that day one he would probably be the guy. But whatever reps that you get, if you're Dylan or you're Shador or Pickett, whatever reps you get, you have to show us in a limited amount of reps your value, to the team. And so over this next, few weeks, of course, whether it be the OTAs or then once training camp starts, guys will start to weed themselves out. That's just the way the game goes. And the competition is going to bring out the best and the worst in each of these guys. And the guys who go out there and perform with whatever limited reps they get, that's going to be the guys that's going to be around.
Looking at the rest of the league, before we came on, we were talking about Travis Hunter. Of course, he won the Heisman, playing both sides of the ball. You won the Heisman, sort of playing both sides of the ball. I think we can both agree, though. We can say you were the last defensive player to win the Heisman, right?
That is correct. He is truly a two-way player. Myself, I played defense, so I'm still the first and only defensive player to win the award. But my hat's off to Travis. We talked before air, like you said, and I got a chance to speak with him and kind of be around him a little bit. And man, just what he was able to do at the collegiate level, playing the amount of snaps that he played, but also being productive in those amount of snaps that he played, which was most impressive. I'm looking forward to see what he does at this level. I know right now you see a lot of clips of him playing on the offensive side of the ball. You haven't seen any on defense, but I know that team is they're gonna venture into seeing what he can do and how he can help in all phases of the game. So looking forward to his play, just like everyone else. Just a tremendous player.
Do you think he can play both sides of the ball, or is he, to be successful in the league, I mean, you're really going to have to concentrate on one side and maybe sprinkle in the other?
Yeah, I think you sprinkle it in. I don't see any player going out there and playing the way he played in college at the NFL level. I just think, in terms of the game just leans on you at the NFL level a different way than it does in college football. And I would hate to see him age in dog years, you know what I mean? Trying to play both ways and try to play every snap. But I do agree, if he's an offensive starter, if that's the way they're looking at it, maybe you have some plays here or there defensively. I think that's fine. But to go out there and try to play every snap, I say no.
I gotta ask you, I was thinking about this before we came on, because you're so well connected in the sports world, in the celebrity world, because you're a celebrity in yourself. What is your most impressive text group? Like your group, like, is there anyone in there where you're like, nobody really knows I'm in this group chat, but it is a very impressive one?
No, not really.
No.
I don't, nope, I don't have really a celebrity group chat. I mean, there's some people that I can get to if I need to, but no group chats. I try to keep everything, in its own lane. You know what I mean? So yeah. No group chats.
All right. Well, that's not as exciting. Let me ask you this. And do you know that they're making a movie called Madden? You're familiar with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know the casting of it?
I don't know the cast.
Okay, so this is what I'm being told. Christian Bale is going to play Al Davis. Nicolas Cage is going to play John Madden. Obviously, you're in the Raiders Hall of Fame with John Madden and Al Davis. Do you like these castings? I mean, how are they looking so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
You know what? I don't know quite yet. That's going to be an interesting one. I would be interested to see what Mark Davis thinks about it. Because that would be, the person that I would think, had to sign off on, Christian Bale playing his dad. But I have to see him in action, man, because I was around, Al Davis a lot. Al Davis was very unique, and he had that little New York, accent, but it was kind of, raspy a little bit. But man, he was just a great man, very matter of fact type of individual. So it'll be interesting to see if Christian Bale can pull that off. So I can't wait to see that one.
Who would play you?
Who would play me? Could I play myself?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I want to get on the big screen too.